Hey guys, it's Jeremy with EXP Commercial. Have you ever wondered how businesses unlock capital tied up in their assets while continuing to utilize them? Today, we're going to take a dive into what a sale-leaseback is and its benefits. Now imagine you own a thriving logistics company and you've recently decided to expand your operations by purchasing a new facility. However, you realize that a significant portion of your working capital is tied up in the property. This lack of liquidity limits your ability to invest in research and development, upgrade equipment, or pursue new growth opportunities. What can you do to access the capital while still utilizing the property? That's where a sale-leaseback comes into play. A sale-leaseback is a type of transaction where a company sells an asset such as real estate or equipment to a third party. Simultaneously, the company enters into a long-term lease agreement with the buyer, effectively becoming the lessee. This arrangement allows the company to convert the asset's value into cash while retaining the right to use the asset through lease payments. Now let's walk through the typical steps involved in a sale-leaseback arrangement. Step 1, asset valuation. The company and the buyer agree on the fair market value of the asset being sold. This valuation is critical as it determines the sale price and subsequent lease payments. Step 2, purchase and sales agreement. A formal PSA agreement is drawn up detailing the terms and conditions of the transaction, including the sale price, lease terms, and any additional provisions. Step 3, transfer of ownership. The company transfers the ownership of the asset to the buyer. In return, the buyer pays the agreed upon purchase price to the company. Step 4, lease agreement. Simultaneously or short after the sale, the company and the buyer enter into a lease agreement. The lease outlines the rental payment, duration, renewal options, maintenance responsibilities, and other relevant terms. Step 5, lease payments. The company, now the lessee, starts making regular lease payments to the buyer. These payments provide a predictable cash flow stream to the buyer while allowing the company to continue using the asset for its operations. Now that we understand the process, let's explore some benefits and considerations associated with a sale-leaseback. Benefit number 1, capital release. By unlocking the value of the asset, the company gains access to immediate capital, which can be used for various purposes like expansion, debt reduction, or funding new projects. Benefit number 2, off-balance sheet financing. The sale-leaseback may enable the company to remove the asset from its balance sheet, potentially improving financial ratios and enhancing the perception of creditworthiness. Always suggest speaking with your CPA for confirmation of this information. And there you have it, a brief overview of sale-leasebacks. If you have more questions or want to talk more about sale-leasebacks, give me a call at 702-232-0179.